Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the elect. And we told you, all right, that bigger name Christian figures, okay, speaking of the religion of Christianity, all right, are going to start to mention the Israelites, all right, because what's happening is amongst the so-called Christianity community dealing with our people, or who are trapped in it, all right, they're losing followers. And they're starting to notice a common trend amongst the people that leave their church, is that a lot of them are coming into the understanding that they're Israelites. All right, there's been various articles, and we've brought out some of them, on a mass exodus of our people, starting with Judah and the rest of the tribes, exiting out of the church. All you have to do is type in Black Exodus from the church, and many pastors are speaking on it. Okay, we've even seen some of them come together to say, what can we do about these Israelites? How can we combat this? The church has become stagnant. The church has become weak. A lot of our people are leaving these churches and getting into voodoo, witchcraft. A lot of them are becoming atheists. All right, but a lot of people are coming to the conclusion and the understanding that this religion known as Christianity, okay, means us no well. It offers no spiritual connection. Okay, and it really puts a very low level spirit on them, the men and the women and the children. Okay, and then you have everybody saying God. All right. Now, when you go to 1 Corinthians, the 8th chapter and the 5th verse, Paul tells you that, look, there's God's many and Lord's many. Okay, but to us there is but one. All right, the Most High God Yahweh through His mediator, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. So anybody can say God. Anybody can say Lord. All right, when these high up entertainers get awards, what do a lot of them say? Jake, I want to thank God. God. You think they're talking about the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Absolutely not. Okay? Remember, Satan is also a god or a power. That's all a god is, a power. There's many powers in this world. Okay? It's a wicked world full of demons. Okay? So for years, they've been able to throw the wool, benefit off of the wool being over people's eyes. But now people are waking up, especially Jake. Now you have this guy here. All right. Fred Hammond. Some of you may know him, some of you may not. But basically, he's a high up, gospel music minister. Okay. He's been doing it for 41 years, as you can see here. All you can do is, how you have to do is look him up. Fred Hammond, not Hampton, Fred Hammond, is a gospel singer, all right? He's won a Grammy, and he's high up in that world. And we know how those Jakes, all right, like TD Jakes and the rest of them, Eddie Longs, and how those higher up Jakes who are representing Christianity, we know what they're really into, all right? But I'm going to play this video that he has on his page. This was sent to me by a brother. Let's see if I can turn it up. Let's check this out.
I think we haven't done a great job of answering this question.
Is Christianity the white man's religion?
I can understand that concern.
Why would you ever, how can you say, yield yourself, to the faith that has been used to perpetuate your oppression?
So
you see that, all right? You hear that, all right? Basically, this is coming from the pressure of the Israelites, all right? And we say that, We say you're following after your oppressor's religion. Now, the book of Proverbs, okay, the book of Proverbs 3:31, I believe, says, envy not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Right? Matter of fact, let me make sure I'm quoting that right. Let's get the book of Proverbs, the 3rd chapter. You see, Jay, now they got to, openly try to address these questions. Yep. Proverbs 3:31. Envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Now, Christianity, if you want to be truthful about it,
Well, since I've come to college,
goes back to, starting with the black popes, Constantine and all of that, which were Jakes. Okay. And eventually, of course, that was corrupted. And then, Esau eventually used it for his benefit. Okay. But at the end of the day, this modern way of church, this modern way of so-called worship does stem from slavery. In slavery, they would allow our people to have church sermons. All right. But what were they to do? First of all, they took particular passages out of the Bible. Look up the slave Bible. All right. Where they took stories that would, galvanize our mind or we could link to our, like the Exodus. They would take the stories like the Exodus out. They would take scriptures that were particular leaders of our people, or would go and tell our people to turn from the ways of their oppression and tell them the reason you're in captivity is because of your rebellion against the Most High. They took stuff like that out. Okay, and then they would allow these churches and these forms of worship where Jake would get together. They would get together. Salakia. Jake would get together and, worship and preach and dance and scream and holler. But the sermon had to teach a message of being obedient to master. So ultimately, this religion and everything that stemmed from it, known as Christianity, that's why the Apostle Tahar calls it what? Plantation Christianity. Okay? Because ultimately, all of these churches and the way that they're ran and operated, they stem from the plantation. Let's go back to this real quick. Now, let's listen again.
I think we haven't done a great job of answering this question.
Is Christianity the white man's religion?
I can understand that concern.
Why would you ever, how can you say, yield yourself, to the faith that has been used to perpetuate your oppression?
So since I've come to college, I'm not going to lie, I tell people all the time, yeah, I'm not a Christian anymore.
If you believe that a spiritual system is on the wrong side of a moral issue, then obviously that's not going to bode well for...
Who was that? That is I forget his name, but he was there when the apostles, when vocab went up to the apostles. He was there when they went up to the Sakari camp. Okay. And he does debates. He was on Sonetta TV. Okay. Ultimately, this is a follower and a follower of Vocab Malone. Pretty much they go hand in hand. Okay. These Christians are through, man. And like that girl said, she said basically when I, in college, I don't even refer to myself as Christian no more. And that's the common theme. A lot of Jakes, you ask them, you go to church, a lot of they frown up. All right. You ask them if they're Christian. No. All right. They say it with in swiftness, like, hell no, I don't belong to that religion. Because they seen the garbage that goes on in the churches. They see the behavior that stems from it and how it offers no answers. It has no standard. It has given us nothing. All it has done is yell and scream love and take money. That's it. Okay? We didn't learn anything in those churches, man. And we were there in those churches. All right? So now that we've awakened, as the scriptures say, your eyes would see your teachers, and you would throw away those idols. Christianity is a big part of that. Okay, because it had a stronghold over our mind for ages, for years, man. So now this guy, all right, and we told you, because it looks like this is going to be a documentary. We told you, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, that they're going to be doing a documentary. Now let's just keep watching and see whose faces come up.
For that spiritual system.
And so what we're witnessing is a church that is not only on the margins nationally, but unfortunately, in some respects, is being pushed to the margins within its own community.
Now, there's the documentary. We told you it was coming. It says Unspoken. So you have this guy, Fred Hammond, promoting, all right, this documentary, because they got to figure out a way to try to get Judah's mind back, all right, to believe in this crap. Now, that was the brothers from the Sakari camp. Although we have our differences with them, we go back and forth with them. They're Israelites, right? They teach the truth as pertaining to who the 12 tribes are. They're off on a lot, but they have them up there because ultimately they're preparing an assault against the Israelites, and they're going to use the black boule to do it, and they're not ready. Okay? They're not ready. These Jake Christians don't know what the hell they're talking about, man, as pertaining to the Bible. When this guy who we just saw in vocab went up to the Sakari camp, the Sakari was actually cutting them. And vocab was being a demon, trying to get the brothers to say they want to kill and cut off people's heads and do all type of garbage, because ultimately that's the stance vocab wants to take at the end of the day. He wants to present us as wild savages and beasts and monsters, and as if we're preparing and planning to go out and execute our own judgment. And that's not what we teach. But there you have it. Okay. Unspoken. Okay. So that documentary should be coming out at some point. Okay. But you have a guy like Fred Hammond. Okay. He's in on the jig. He's going to try to promote it to come up against the Israelites, because you Christians are hurt. You're losing. Nobody wants to hear that anymore. Let's get the book of Zechariah, the 12th chapter. All right. Because what they're going to, the angle they're going to come is, a lot of our people are leaving the Christian faith and going into this cult of Hebrew Israelism. Why? And the answers are all in the scriptures, man. It's in prophecy that the Israelites would do exactly what we're doing. Okay, clearly in the latter days, the Israelites would awaken, right? But then it happens, and people who've had the Bible in their hand 41 years can't get it. You can't get and understand why the Israelites are waking up all over the earth? You can't go into prophecy and get an understanding of why this is happening? Zechariah 12:2. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling to all the people round about, when they shall be in the siege both against Judah and against Jerusalem. And that's the rebuilding of the tabernacle of David. As you can see, the title of this chapter is the future deliverance of Jerusalem. Okay, so we'll read this in the NLT. I will make Jerusalem like an intoxicating drink that makes the nearby nations stagger when they send their armies to besiege Jerusalem and Judah. And this is a part of those armies. Now, it's going to get more physical at some point, but the Christian community and the black boule that they're going to use to come at Jake, the gatekeepers of Esau's system, your TD Jakes, all right, your Cleflo Dollars, all right, your Shaquille O'Neals, they're going to start to use all of these black boule members, all right, to promote, okay, these documentaries and these different wayward things to pretty much come up against this truth. Now, Jerusalem, you have Bishop Jephthah saying, Great Millstone don't have any progress. They don't even got a building. We are the building. But see, only a spiritual man can get that. We are the building. Jerusalem is synonymous with the remnant, the tabernacle of David being rebuilt. What was in Jerusalem? The temple. The temple was sacked. The Lord said, I am going to rebuild a spiritual temple. Okay, that's why the scriptures say in Revelation 21, when we're perfected, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men. Okay, so Jerusalem is really speaking of the remnant, the elect. Okay, and we're becoming a cup of trembling to them. It was something they ignored at first, then they laughed at it, then now they're attacking. Okay, and they can't deal with us in the spirit, so they're going to take the carnal route. Okay, and they're going to have particular clips that they're going to use to try to make it seem as though we're these crazies, when even the camps that which we're against carrying swords to camp and all of that, but even those camps, you don't hear about, all right, Hebrew Israelite camps going throughout the planet Earth, all right, burning crosses and hanging people because of our racial superiority complex. That's what you Edomites did. Christian Edomites were at the forefront of lynchings, burning people, hanging people. Christian Edomites. And you wonder why in the latter days, the very descendants of the people you did that to are leaving off from it. It says, in that day, well, I make Jerusalem, all right, the remnant, and it starts with the men of the Lord, the prophets, man, a burdensome stone for all people. So we are a burden unto these people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces. And Christianity damn sure has been cut in pieces, man. But y'all are delusional. You see? You really want us to turn back to that garbage religion after all that we've learned? And see, they don't want to see us become better people. They don't want to see us come into any understanding. They want us to see us stay in that docile, dumbed down. Okay, because if you have a conversation with a Christian, a Jake Christian, all right, those are some of the, I hate to, and I'm saying this in all humility. They are some of the dumbest people you could ever have a conversation with. I'm talking about Jake, who's been in church 50 plus years, 60 plus years, 20 plus years. They have no understanding of the basics of the Bible. Now, when that same Jake leaves that garbage religion alone, because what did the prophecy say would happen? Give me Isaiah, the 30th chapter. We'll go back to that and finish it off. I ain't going to make this too long. Isaiah 30 and 20 says what? And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore. But thine eyes shall see thy teachers. Okay, and we've seen them. And thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, this is the way, walk ye in it, when ye turn to the right hand and when ye turn to the left. Meaning we would get guidance. Okay, spiritual guidance from on high in the form of teachers, men on earth. Ye shall defile. All right, and let's read that in the NLT, verse 22. Then will you destroy your idols of silver and your precious gold images? You will throw them out like filthy rags, saying unto them, good riddance. And that's what we deal with Christmas, Halloween, okay, Pride, okay, Greek fraternities. All of these things are allowed in the Christian church. All right? All of this stuff. There's no standard of what we're supposed to be doing. The only thing they talk about is love. But what is love? Love is an action word. And love is for the fulfilling and the keeping of the commandments. But what does Christianity teach you? We don't have to follow any of God's laws. Okay? So it's a snare unto our people. When you go around the earth living without any order, eventually bad things are gonna come back to you. Why do you think all of these bad things are happening to Jake? These rappers. Why do you think Jake is so unhealthy? Why are we the first in abortions? Why are we the first in all of these negative things? Thug life, all of these garbage things, because we don't live we're not taught any order. So the Hebrew Israelites, if y'all wanted to complain about Jake, y'all want to complain about Jake walking around in the streets, looking docile and acting like niggas. The faith, the true faith, has led our people into order. So what are you mad about? Okay, for years you've had a group of people use physical weapons to bomb their way into to that land using the Balfour Declaration, the small hats, humping the wall, doing all types of garbage, and nobody had anything to say. Nobody said, how are these people the true Israelites? Prove to us you're the Israelites. Prove to us what you say. Nobody said that to them. But as soon as the true Israelites awaken according to prophecy, now there's a problem. And it's okay. Zechariah 12:3. In that day I will make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces, though all the people of the earth shall be gathered together against it. And that's what's being formulated. It's going to start with Jake. It's going to start with our people. We've been saying this for years. They're going to have a documentary. Okay, it's going to start to be talked about more in the news, because they can't really just come up and put us on the news. They know they have to create narratives, and everything you've been seeing happening over the years dealing with the Israelites, everything you've been seeing happening over the years dealing with these particular camps. Okay, they got all of these things recorded. Okay, and they're gonna use all of these things, okay, as an accusation. Okay, they're gonna put the most bizarre, craziest clips, and that's all right. That's all right, man. All right, because the Lord knows the true intent of the elect. So all of you that are burdening yourself with this immovable rock, what did the scripture say? What did the Lord tell Peter? All right, I give you the key, and the gates of hell shall not prevail. I'm going to set my rock upon this church. Okay, the tabernacle of David is being built, and it's almost finished, and it's nothing you can do to stop it. Okay, we are a movable rock. You're burdening yourself. You're making these documentaries. You keep walking up to the camps. You keep doing videos. You every day you look up. Vocab then found a new book. Oh, we found a new book REI wrote. Oh, we found a book Elder Bob Bivens wrote. Whoa, we found an article from 1992 with Elder Tahar. Oh, the Israelites this, the Israelites that. Meanwhile, look at all of the garbage going on in the Christian church, okay, and Roman Catholicism. Okay, they just pretty much said they got to revise the law on the the LG, XYZ community, man. Meaning that we can't use the Bible to condemn that behavior. So y'all are all through, man. At the end of the day, and you're fighting against a brazen wall. Let's get that and we'll close it. Okay. Nobody want to hear that garbage, man. Jeremiah 15:20. And I will make thee unto this people a fenced brazen wall, and they shall fight against thee, but they shall not prevail against thee. For I am with thee to save thee and to deliver thee, saith the Lord. So
I think we haven't done a great job of answering this question.
Is Christianity the white man's religion?
I can understand that concern.
White man's religion.
Why would you ever, how can you say yield your
And you Edomites use that religion to destroy our people, man. It's common knowledge. There's no sense for any Jake to be walking around here claiming this religion, man. It's detestable. It's garbage. And now that the brothers and sisters know the truth, ain't nobody going back to that garbage. You may have a few here and there that slip back, but there's thousands upon thousands leaving y'all, millions. leaving that religion, right? But when one leaves us, Vocab does a video, he wants to interview him. So what was it like on the inside? What's going on the inside of these black Christian churches? You want to go in there and look and talk about that? Oh, that's not a problem.
Yield yourself, to the faith that has been used to perpetuate your oppression.
And when you take down a nation, of course, you're going to force in their mind your ways, okay, to keep them pretty much, from rebelling against you, to keep them in a mindset that you're God, to keep them in a mindset that they're, 3/5 of a human being and they deserve the treatment that, you were giving them. Okay? They would have particular church sermons. And if any of the slaves that were teaching the Bible tried to sneak and start to say, we the Israelites, and here it says master was this and that. What happened? What happened? They would hang him. You couldn't teach anything that pretty much led our people to thinking highly of themselves. You had to teach that same, and that's when you go into the church, what do you hear? It's just a song, a dance, screaming. It doesn't really open you up to what this Bible is really all about. They damn sure ain't telling you the Israelites. They tell you go ahead and celebrate Christmas. They do it in the church. They celebrate Halloween in the church. So what does this do to the soul of the Israelite? It only takes them down, man. Okay, it only makes them ultimately enemies of the Lord. And that's where y'all wanted to keep us at, because when we're in that state, it's easier for y'all to forward yourselves. And Christians never weren't saying any damn thing until the Israelites stood on their feet. Now everybody's a Bible scholar. Now everybody want to talk about the Edomites. These are things we never even heard about when we were in these garbage religions, man.
So since I've come to college, I'm not going to lie, I tell people all the time, I'm not a Christian anymore.
If you believe that a spiritual system is on the wrong side of a moral issue, then obviously that's not going to bode well for that spiritual system.
And so,
So that spiritual system, all right, at the time of the slave trade, those were Christians, all right, and the small hats, okay, who were responsible for those slave trades, right? One of the first slave ships that arrived over here was called Good Ship Jesus, right? So you Edomites are done, and we know you're going to use our own people as pawns to try to, redeem us back to this garbage. Because when Jake is following after this garbage, then it's easier for you to tell them to jab up. It's easier for you to tell them to take the charagma. It's easier for you to control them. But see, what Esau is witnessing is a resistance to his dominance, to his rhetoric. Okay? So watch for the black boule, these higher level Jakes, to start to mention the Israelites.
so what we're witnessing is a church that is not only on the margins nationally, but unfortunately, in some respects, is being pushed to the margins within its own community.
Nobody want to hear that shit. So these are the names. Okay? These are the names that are going to be dealing with this documentary. I don't know what the... Okay. No, I don't want to do that no more. Okay. So... there we go.
I think we haven't.
And we told you, we told you this documentary was coming. Oh, I would have to, I want to read those comments, but I don't have no TikTok. I can't deal with TikTok. I just deal with the clips brother sent me. So Hey, that's it, man. Shalom.